I made a mistake today. I went on a date with a cis lesbian, and it went predictably. They just kind of laid on like transphobic microaggression after transphobic microaggression, just constantly the entire time. And she invited me back to her apartment, and I walk in, and there's just a giant like lipstick lesbian flag hanging on the wall. And she kept going on about how all of her exes were also trans, and I was like, okay, it's a bit sus. And I realized that she was the perfect example of one of the pink hat feminists. So I got all cute for no reason, and I will never date someone who's not trans again.
I'm a little bit confused. What happened? What's the problem? Honey, you do know that it's your own fault if you see microaggressions everywhere. You can actually control that, and to me it doesn't make sense how these activists keep complaining about how lesbians don't want to date trans women. Now you've found someone who actually wants to date trans women and claims to be a lesbian, and then you think it's a bad thing? You can never win with these people. And that's because these woke activists thrive on being miserable. So we can't do anything about it.
Being trans is so hard and so exhausting. Like, I have been misgendered all day. Every single interaction, conversation, everything just misgendered from the beginning of the day to now. I'm sick of correcting people who won't listen. I'm sick of people not seeing me. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And then I'm like, oh well, if I went on TV, this would never happen. But I don't want to go on TV. I just want people to believe that trans people exist and to look at me and think for a split second, like, oh, maybe they don't want to be called a lady. Maybe that's.
This is another example of how people choose to be miserable. They really want to be a victim because that makes life a little bit more interesting, I think. For them at least. And it's stupid. She said it herself, if she just went on T, she wouldn't get misgendered. But she doesn't want to go on T, so why are you crying? And it's so ironic that some of these people claim to not care what people think about their gender, who they are, and they really want to act like rebels in society, however, they cry when they get misgendered. I really hope that she didn't cut off her breasts for other people. I really hope that she did it for herself. I hope that the point of getting the surgery is to make herself feel better, which we all know is bullshit, and not to get validation from other people. However, she chose to identify as non-binary in a binary society. Maybe you changed your opinions about society, however, society didn't change, and you just have to deal with it. If you look like a woman, sound like a woman, people will think that you're a woman. Deal with it.
So it's come to my attention that a trans man by the name of Marcus, or known as the offensive T-slur, has posted a YouTube video titled "I'm a trans guy looking like a girl, reacting to a girl's appropriating transhood." That is already a good start for the video, isn't it? With my platform here on TikTok, I felt the need to discuss this. Now, in the video that Marcus posted, he shows a range of TikToks from feminine trans men, and ultimately he invalidates and misgenders them throughout the entire video up until around 5 minutes and 40 seconds, where one of my videos are shown, and then other trans men who have medically transitioned. What's quite upsetting is that the majority of these trans men that are shown are those who still have their long hair, which Marcus therefore states his opinion that they are still women, which is not fair at all. And he doesn't consider the fact that many of these people may be living in an unsafe living environment where they may not be able to say if they come out, where they are fearing of, being attacked or kicked out of their homes.
It's not only me who claims that people who look like women look like women. And if you're comfortable looking like a woman, you're a woman. So you're telling me that these girls living in the United States, posting videos on TikTok in front of millions, don't transition because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them if they come out? Do I need to explain why that doesn't make sense? Or do you get it? Let's just assume that these girls would be safe if they came out as trans, since they talk about it on TikTok.
Furthermore, some trans men just feel comfortable wearing dresses or makeup, and that's completely fine. It's not up to other people to dictate how you live your life and how you express your identity. If that's what makes you feel comfortable, go ahead, do it. It's not harming anybody, is it?
Well, the problem is that some of these women who are comfortable looking like women claim to be trans when they obviously are not. That's a problem because then a lot of kids would look at these people and think, oh, well, I'm trans as well. No, I don't have gender dysphoria, but I can cut off my tits, right? There's no harm in that, right? We cannot change a definition that is so important to keep. It's so important to keep the definition, the real definition of transsexualism, gender dysphoria, so we don't see a rise in people wanting to receive the same treatment as gender dysphoric people receive, because they will end up regretting it later in life. I've been on testosterone for almost 4 years. I got 2 gender-related surgeries, and I'm just happy. I'm a happy person, and I feel great. However, that doesn't mean that I have cured my gender dysphoria, because that's not possible. And I also think that's the same with other mental disorders, such as anxiety and depression. Leave a comment down below if I'm wrong, but I think the point of treating a mental disorder is to alleviate the symptoms, not to cure it, because I'm pretty sure it's not possible. I feel like I don't have gender dysphoria anymore, ever. That's just a feeling I have. But the minute you put a dress on me, some of it will come back, okay? And it's not great. And that's not just my experience. I'm pretty sure that every single transsexual man can relate to this. And that's my point. Real men, biological men, they can do whatever they want. They can wear whatever they want. They would still be men. However, trans men are different. We have a mental disorder that controls a lot of our decisions in life. Obviously. So therefore, we cannot do whatever we want. We cannot wear whatever we want. That's the whole reason why we change our bodies. Sometimes cut off our body parts.
Marcus goes on to state his opinions of trans men in drag, which is also a very fun subject, and how he questions whether they are truly trans, because surely them in drag would make them feel dysphoric, but not everybody has that intense dysphoria. Some people have less dysphoria, and that is still valid. I'm here to tell you that if you're still in the closet, you are still valid as a trans man. If you like wearing dresses and makeup, or even performing in drag as a trans man, you are still valid. And whether you medically transition or not is your choice, and you shouldn't feel belittled for having your own personal preferences. Don't ever let anybody make you feel that way.
Oh, well said. Well said. Why do these people even care about what I think? Why can't they just be themselves without crying when someone is questioning their identity, their life choices?
And I'm going to end this video by saying I feel like there are better things to do with your life than debate whether someone is truly trans or not. That's not your decision to make. You do not know if other people have dysphoria or not. Only they can tell that.
Do you know why I spend my time on this? I care about people's mental health. A medical transition is not for everyone. Not everyone who claims to be trans is trans, and I only say this because I really don't want them to medically transition, because they will regret it eventually. A medical transition will only benefit the people with chronic gender dysphoria. If you claim to be trans without dealing with gender dysphoria and you really want this medical transition, I don't want you to have it, because it will not benefit you. And I want you to be truly happy. And the only way you can be truly happy, and also happy in the long run, is if you get your real problems solved. Meaning if you're dealing with a borderline disorder, an eating disorder, or a trauma, you need to get that fixed. You deserve that. And to have this approach that, oh, I'm not going to question your identity. Why do people care if you're truly trans or not? You do you. You're doing this and not caring about the consequences of not caring. It's sending a signal that you don't truly care about people's mental health. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell. If you want, you can support me with a small donation under Super Thanks, and it will mean a lot to me, so thank you. Remember, you can also become a member of this channel where I create content decided by you. So come join us. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Peace out.